sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
It's not gonna happen, and Daniel McMillan,
Pennsylvania native, kept here winning here at Pocono.
Third win of the season, and win the championship.
Ryan Benjamin with the last lap pass.
And he is going to score the victory in the Minute Maid 300.
Salmon Oskin, third win of the season.
He's gonna get it and only leads 3 laps today.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here on a Tuesday night here in Natick, Massachusetts for race number 3 in the Season 9 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Chase. Race number 23 of the season is the JBL 400. For the first time ever, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series comes to the fictional Hillside International Speedway. This fast-paced mile-long racetrack is going to produce a lot of interesting racing here tonight. You're in store for a treat here. Join alongside Troy Wright for this one. Of course, you guys in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series have 2 races here a couple of weeks ago. Do you think we're going to see similar racing to what you guys saw? Or with the chase involved here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, do you think it's going to be a little bit more wilder here in the 23rd race of the season?
I think it's going to be a little bit more of the latter side there. It's going to be an extremely wild race, even though we are running pretty much parallel setups, 80 laps at the night version of Hillside at 105 difficulty. So this 105 strength, I should say. So is going to be more of the style of racing as we saw in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series back in the Order of the Arrow 350 a handful of weeks ago. But with the added bonus for us as commentators of watching these guys try and do stuff with the chase, try and gain every position as possible, that's just going to make it even wilder. As we saw a couple of chase drivers put some blazing fast times late in the qualifying session earlier, so that's just going to make this even more of a bowl of laughs.
Yeah, it definitely will be. You got here Jalarvin Alonso there starting in the outside pole as our points leader, and he got that really fast time late in the session earlier tonight, just a little bit under an hour ago over on the NOFSRL channel, and he comes into this race with 2,076 points towards the championship. Didn't have the best of runs at Armory Digital on Friday night, but still did a good enough job to hold on to the points. It actually extended his points lead a little bit, as he's now 10 points ahead of the guy who's starting third right behind him, Nathan Baird. May just come down between Alonso and our defending champion, Nathan Baird. Just going to have to see how it all goes down. Jesse Turner, 11 points behind. Mark Davidson, 16 points behind. Alexander Rowe is 18 points behind. Salmon Oskin, Ryan Ronnie, and Silas Orta, all 20 points behind. Fisher G, 21 points behind. Bradley Ream, 22 points behind. Those top 10 guys definitely with a very good start to this chase, but then you got Shane Lake and Reagan Whitlock, who did not get off on the right foot, 58 points and 65 points behind respectively. Of course, they still have a mathematical chance of winning the championship, but with all those other guys right up there on Alonso and those guys not, odds are their shots of winning the championship are almost out the window at this point, even though we're only 2 races into the season. Still a long ways left to go. 8 races left, including this one, and we don't know what this one's going to be like, but there is one concern for all these guys, and that is engine longevity. This racetrack is a very high-speed racetrack. They rev the engines up quite a bit, a lot like they do at Talladega, where we have a lot of engine problems. We could see a lot of engine failures here tonight, especially with guys running up front. So it could happen at any point in time, but odds are we're going to have a few guys get knocked out of the race because of engine malfunctions. Going to be interesting to see how it all plays out here in the JBL 400. It is 80 laps of action here around this mile-long racetrack. It is Iquan Hassan who won the pole earlier on here tonight. He's going to be starting alongside, like I mentioned here, Jalarvin Alonso there in the number 28 machine. A great run for him at qualifying, looking to extend his points lead heading into Boston this weekend. We got ourselves Nathan Baird to the inside of Daniel McMillan, Nicholas Samadeo, and Trey Bartow, Nathan Stapleton, Diego Yepez, Ace Garcia, Tristan Allen. A lot of veterans starting inside the top 10. Only rookie inside the top 10, I should say, is number 64 there, Vic Juan Haslam. We'll have to see how the veterans fare in this one. It's the first time we've ever come here to Hillside. It'll be Iquan Haslam and here Jalarvin Alonso leading us to the green flag here in the JBL 400. Pace car is pulled off. Tuesday night midweek racing in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Or green flag racing in the 3rd race of the chase. Lap 1 led by Nathan Baird. Bonus point towards the championship for him. Alonso got stuck in that outside lane, and they continue to pass him left and right. Has yet to find a hold of that inside lane. Nicholas Samadillo, Daniel McMillan, they're pushing Haslam on the outside lane now, and it's 1, 2, 3 veterans here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
Yeah, that outside lane early on here at the Hillside International Speedway does not work, and we're starting to see them file it out just a little bit. Alonso has finally found a gap in the train and is currently rocking the 8th position, if I'm not mistaken.
7th, actually no, 6th. So not too bad of a loss there for Alonso. However, the guy who's right behind him at points is leading this race, and the way they're currently running, Baird may tie Alonso in the point standings. But Samadillo may not let that happen to the inside. Portland winner in the IndyCar Series last Saturday. Going to go for 2 in a row here on Napa Fan to the inside of Nathan Baird for the race lead. He's going to take it away on lap 4 of 80 here in the JBL 400. McMillan looking to get past here by Iquan Haslam. You got Trey Barto now. Yepez to the inside of Sergio Larvin Alonso. That's for the 6th position. Tristan Allen is at the top 10 with Stapleton. You got a gaggle of cars right here with Ace Garcia, Brad Stover, Mark Davidson in the 95. Had a great run at Armory Digital. He's looking to advance his way up in the points for Father Fruit Motorsports right now. And Alonso really got shuffled out of line right there. There goes Barto to the inside of Yepez. And now Alonso's back to the inside, and he might get a run on Trey Barto. Haslam back to the inside of McMillan. They're making passes all over the place here at Hillside.
They definitely are. Meanwhile, top 2 cars. There's a dogfight between the 2 Portland winners on Napa Fan. The 16 of Nathan Baird won in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and the 48 of Samadillo, the most recent winner of Portland, in the 48. Baird right on the back bumper. He's going to look to the inside.
Good run there for Nathan Baird to the inside of Nicholas Samadillo. Daniel McMillan here in the 79 with a huge run. Those guys get side by side. That's going to bring in the 3rd place driver, and McMillan may get a run on Baird for the race lead here. Keep in mind, too, these guys, they're going to have to make a pit stop in this race as well. That could really get interesting as this race goes along. And almost 3 wide for the race lead. Iquan Haslam had some help there from Trey Barto, but could not get the run on the 79. And now Daniel McMillan takes the race lead away in lap 8 of 80 here in the JBL 400. Alonso there in the 6th position. He's been hanging pretty strong right there. Yepez, Tristan Allen, Nathan Stapleton, still the same guys inside the top 10. We'll go through the field, check on the chase drivers. There's Mark Davidson currently in the 11th position. Shane Lake, he really needs a good run. 14th right now for him. A good run for him as he comes in 11th in the points. Sam and Oskin, the regular season champion, currently in the 16th position. And then deeper in the field, Fisher G there around the 22nd position in the number 7 machine. There's our last winner, Cody Sill on the 37. Alexander Rose, Silas Orta, Brad Ream all on each other midway through the field in the 26th, 27th, and 28th positions respectively. Jesse Turner right around the 30th position right now in the 77. Ryan Durrani, not a good run for the 68 machine, in 35th right now for him, and another bad run for Reagan Whitlock. He's currently in the 38th position. Those are where the chase drivers currently run, and they are led by chase driver Nathan Baird. It's been McMillan, Baird, and Samadillo going after for this race lead the past few laps, and all these guys have a lot on their resume. Who's going to get the advantage here tonight at Hillside? We really don't know. Alonso's now up to 5th in the number 28 machine.
Yeah, I think Alonso, he has definitely been falling back and coming back to the front. Covered pretty neatly in that number 28. Here comes Bart to the inside, trying to get a bumper in on the 88 of Yepez. Meanwhile, Baird's still up in this race lead, with Alonso right underneath the 64.
Here's Larvin Alonso going to try to get a run to the inside. Nicholas Samadillo. He's got some help there from Yepez and Barta. Now, Yepez is one of these guys who's had a strong season, but this hasn't really come close to winning a race yet. I know he would love to go back to victory lane. Mark Davidson, he's got some help from Shane Lake. Chase drivers helping each other out right here. This is huge for Mark Davidson because he was one of those guys who did not win a race this season before the chase began, and now he comes in 4th in the points. He has been very consistent in his 2 seasons here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I believe he finished 2nd in the points last season to Nathan Baird. And who knows? He doesn't want that to happen to Nathan Baird again. Of course, Nathan Baird's currently leading this race, but Davidson doing a great job this season, and he's moving his way through the field pretty nicely here tonight. Got some new guys kind of joining into this lead pack. Cameron Garlington, Thomas Trossel there, Sam and Oskim, John Arndt. Great run for Garlington, who's been calling a lot of races with us here on Napa Fan as of late. Have to see if he can get a good run there in that Troop 1776 machine.
Yeah, definitely. I know I don't want to play bias, but that car is definitely beautiful. Running here under the lights here at the Hillside International Speedway. But back to the lead. San Medeo is slowly reeling in on that 16. And here it goes to the inside. San Medeo trying to get the bleed from Baird. He's going to have a little bit of help from McMillan. He's going to put that 16 on the outside.
I think we're at a point, too, where the tire is starting to come into effect, and that outside lane's starting to come in a little bit more. There goes McMillan to the inside of San Medeo. San Medeo had to check up there as he was rolling that inside lane. And this might be good news for Nathan Baer, trying to take this point seat away from here, Jallarvin Alonso, but Alonso now inside the 4th position. He's working that outside lane of McMillan now, and I think the outside lane is the preferred line at this point. That's a very unique thing about this racetrack as a run goes on. Of course, at the beginning of a run, the inside's the best place, but then as the tires wear out, that outside lane becomes the better line. We don't see that in too many racetracks on the Chick-fil-A Cup Series circuit, especially like the way it works here at Hillside. But Alonso trying to make a move on McMillan there in that outside lane. He's going to have to see if he can do it there in the number 28 machine. Meanwhile, San Medeo going to get another run on Nathan Baird here for the race lead. Next time by, quarter of the way through the race, and Nathan Stapleton in the 97 had to come down for a pit stop. He may have had a tire go down. He was inside the top 10 not too long ago, and the troubles continue for this team. They almost made the chase. We all know what happened to him in Indianapolis. Was leading the race, blew an engine in his home racetrack. And then Nashville, he wrecked out. Armory Digital, he wrecked out. And now, an issue here at Hillside. He's in the last position, 1 lap down. Everybody else still on the lead lap so far here in the JBL 400. But Nathan Baer continuing to pace this field here at Hillside.
Yeah, just want to go back to Nathan Stapleton. That season has been falling apart for that 97 team ever since Indianapolis. And just an absolute heartbreak at his home track. And then that that broken heart on the floor has been just danced on just by the past couple of races. And this race is definitely not playing into his favor. But Boston is coming up later this week. And I know his girlfriend, Madison Tall, won the Mission Barbecue Cup Series race there. So trying to join his girlfriend in winning that Mission Barbecue Cup, winning at the Boston International Speedway. But right now he's going to have to try and hold off the 16 and the 48 to stay 1 lap down in that 97.
Yeah, and you know what Stapleton is doing right now? He's holding up Nathan Baird here for this race lead. And these guys have all come on each other. How about Shane Lake? And, you know, for Shane Lake, this is essentially a home race for him. This one and Boston, of course, resides in Maine. That's his home state, and we're in New England right now here in Natick, Massachusetts. And pretty sure Shane Lake would love to win here. He's going to move up to the 4th position. He did not get a good footing to start off in the chase at all, but a win here would definitely help out his cause at winning this championship here in the Chick-fil-A Cup. Just to the inside of Alonso there for 4th, number 15 for Velocity Racing. Trying to get something to turn around here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and it's working out pretty well for him right now on that Toyota. I just had to say that, because Toyota's a sponsor on the Toyota. How about that?
Well, I just
got Nathan Baird continuing the lead in the number 16, that he's yet to get around the 97 here, and that's been slowing him down just a little bit there. You got San Medeo, McMillan there in line. Now Shane Lake up to the 4th position as Alonso falls to 5th. I think for Alonso, it's best to just manage your points. Of course, the guy who's only 10 points behind him is leading this race, but you can't go over-aggressive and wreck out and lose all those points, because that is something that very well could happen if he drives that thing a little too hard. It's a points championship from here on out. You gotta get the points, and the win awards you the most points, but it doesn't automatically clinch you the championship or a spot in the next round or anything like that. It just gives you the most points, and that's it. You get those points, though, get those top 5 finishes, get a lot of points, that definitely helps you out. He's going to move back up to 4th as Shane Lake continues to slice through the field. He has done an excellent job moving his way through the field here at Hillside, the number 15 machine, already up to the 3rd position now for Velocity Racing.
Yeah, Shane Lake has definitely been one of the most quiet drivers this season, even though he's got 2 wins. Just have been just kind of playing a very quiet, consistent strategy, not being flashy with all the wins, and it's a fairly clean race car throughout all the seasons. Hardly had any DNFs in that 15, so I think at the end of the day, watch out for Shane Lake as we go into Darlington. He could definitely be one of those guys to quietly just steal this championship out from all of under these guys.
Of course, the thing is, he comes in 58 points behind our points leader here, Jallarvin Alonso, so didn't really get off to a good start here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series chase. He's going to move to the inside of San Mateo now, but San Mateo's going to shut the door on him right there. And obviously things have cycled through pretty well here. These guys have found their footing on the racetrack. Got Thomas Troxel moving his way through the field. Sam and Oskin inside the top 10 right now. Great runs for Oskin and Davidson. We got ourselves 5 chase drivers inside the top 10. A much different story than what we saw at Armory Digital on Friday night. These guys are definitely doing a much better job here at Hillside than they were at Armory Digital. Trey Bartow is now in the 10th position. Our pole sitter, Iquan Haslam's 11th. Then it's John Arndt, Wyatt Quayle, Bobo Jones, and Tristan Allen in the top 15. Other chase drivers, Alexander Rosa, next highest chase driver outside of Sam at Oskin, all the way back in 21st. Not a bad run for Rowe, but you really can't have that with all those other guys getting good runs. Sam Silasor there in 24th, Fisher G in 25th. Then you got Jesse Turner there in 30th. Not a good run for Turner here tonight. Bradley Ream as well. Tough run for him. 34th right now to Ronnie 35th. And then Whitlock. He's just been downhill since the chase began for this 92 team. I don't even know if they finished outside the top 30 yet in the chase. But here they are, 39th at Hillside. No engine failures quite yet. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I mean, we saw quite a few of them in testing here at Hillside. But we've yet to see one. It could be, too, that it's at night. It's a cool night here, only about mid-60s, which is kind of cool for this time of year. But, I don't know. I feel like at some point somebody's going to go kaboom here at Hillside, and then that could cause a wreck, and we could give us a restart here in the JBL 400. But Nathan Baird hopes that doesn't happen to anybody, and he can just pace his way to the race victory here at Hillside.
Yeah, anything could happen. We could even see the leader blow an engine. We've seen that, couple different times this season, even with Nathan Stapleton. I don't believe he was in the lead at the time at Indy, but we just expect the
He actually was.
Oh well.
And you know, you mentioned that too. At Portland in the IndyCar race, Nicholas Samadillo was behind Marty Johnson. Marty Johnson had paced that entire race. 3 laps to go, Marty Johnson has a tire go down. And guess who's in second? Nicholas Samadillo.
That's the second time.
Could happen again here tonight, I'm just saying. But no. Oh, Thomas Troxel, 35. That might be it right there for Troxel, and that might have been our first engine failure of the night. Either that or it could have been a tire go down, too. The tire wear here is going to be significant. Obviously, you see right now how these guys are going single file. That 35 down the pit lane, it does not appear that they're changing tires. He might have had an engine problem there. So our first casualty, or technically our second casualty of the night there, Thomas Troxel. Of course, Stapleton had his issue, but he was able to get back out there. Odds are it was just a tire issue for the 97, but I do believe it may be more for the number 35. And oh boy.
Oh.
A little bit of strategy play here just before halfway. Sam at Oskin, Tristan Allen, Iquan Haslam. They're going to try to play the strategy game here as we're about to cross halfway. That's interesting for Oskin, but if you get the jump on the tires, you may have an advantage on the rest of the field. Nathan Baird going to come down. Nicholas Samadillo's going to come down as well. Alonso in the 28 machine. The number 4 of Trey Bartow. Oh, Alonso's got damage. As they were coming down the pit lane, it looks like he got into somebody.
He hit Samadillo in the rear end. That is going to kill his aerodynamics.
And they're going to stay on the pit lane and try to repair that. He's going to lose so much time. That is huge. Huge towards the championship. Nathan Baird will get off and win the race of those guys. Shane Lake leads a lap in the 15. Unbelievable for the number 28 of Hairgel Larvin Alonso. He had so many things going so well for him. Now then again, he will get back out there, so we're going to have to see how it all shakes out for him. Yepes now the race leader in the 88 machine. 08 of Bobo Jones. Sebastian Kukalon, Keegan Thompson still out there. See where Shane Lake is in the number 15 machine and see where he comes in relation to everybody else. There is the number 15 of Shane Lake. I don't know if he's going to get the advantage. It's going to take us a while to sort things out here as the cycle continues to go on here in the JBL 400 at Hillside. There's Nathan Baird. I believe Shane Lake jumped to 16. And he did. Shane Lake will be the new race leader, but Baird is coming here in the number 16 machine for the top position, lap 43 of 80. And Shane Lake in a great position to possibly get this race victory here at Hillside. Wait for everything to cycle through right here. Bobo Jones still out there. He's finally made his pit stop, but it will cycle to Shane Lake being the new race leader here in the JBL 400.
I think for Shane Lake's case, actually no, for Nathan Baird's case, I think he's kind of torn on whether to go for this win or just kind of just not used up his stuff, because if he doesn't use up his stuff, he's already miles ahead of his the guy who's 10 points in front of him in points, Herjel Alonso. But if he he goes for if he lets the 15 go, then he could 15 of Shane Lake could possibly like gain closer and closer to him in the points. So I think definitely a torn decision for that 16 of Baird.
I got to give Alonso a lot of credit. He did lose a few positions there, but he's still hanging on to a top 10, but they're going to put him 3 wide. Cody Siliquan has him there. Huge winner on that round was Alexander Rowe, and he could easily find himself in a top 10 position here in a few laps, because that 25 gained a lot of ground. Sam Adio fell way back. Of course, I think it was Sam Adio got run into by Alonso there during that cycle, like you mentioned, so that might be hurting the 48 a little bit. How about Trey Bartow? Great run for him off the pit lane. Same with Sam and Oskin. But the two guys who got the best runs, Nathan Baird and Shane Lake, as they finally get to lap Nathan Stapleton. That might open the door for Baird to possibly take the race lead away here from Shane Lake. But Lake holds on. Going to get that run through the middle, and a huge run on that outside lane for Shane Lake. He's going to pull away there from Nathan Baird. I don't think Nathan Baird's going to get around Stapleton right there, and that's going to be music to Shane Lake's ears. That 15 going to pull away even more now here at Hillside.
Definitely is, and I think Baird kind of decided, you know what, I'm gonna just try and play it safe, not overdrive the car, not overdrive the engine. I think he would gladly take the second place if that means he would be ahead of the 28 of Alonso when it comes down to points when we come out of Hillside later on tonight. But Alonso, I'm surprised he's still hanging tough. He is just outside the top 10 in P11, but anything could happen. And Alonso could possibly score a top 10 here at the Hillside International Speedway.
We're just going to have to see how it goes down as the race goes along. Of course, like I mentioned, he did lose a few positions, but he is hanging on to that 11th position right now. Alexander Rowe not closing in on him there in the 25 machine. Go through the field for other chase drivers. Of course, like we mentioned, it is Shane Lake leading the field. Fisher G is on the tail end right here. That is not good at all for Fisher. 40th in the running order at the moment. That's going to hurt him tremendously in the points. But Shane Lake is your race leader. Nathan Baird, chase driver, in the second position. How about Mark Davidson up to 4th? He's behind Daniel McMillan right now, battling for the 3rd position in a number 95 machine. Sam and Oskin in a tussle there with Trey Bartow for 6th. Great run for Oskin here. Alonso and Alexander Rowe going after it now for the 11th position. To go through the field right here. Next chase driver in line is the number 3 of Silas Orta, all the way back in 26th. Reagan Whitlock did gain a few positions in the 29th position right now for him. Ryan Arani deep in the field in the 68th, 32nd. Turner is 33rd. And then it is the number 7 of Fisher G, who's just gone a lap down in the Zidell Motorsports machine. It's all over the place for these chase guys. Of course, we see all those guys in the back. They're going to fall back in the points, but it's looking now. Mark Davidson, Nathan Baird, and Herjel Alonso, and Sam and Oskin as well. Can't count out our regular season champion. A great run for him tonight. And even Alexander Rowe. Alexander Rowe starting to move his way through the field here in the 25 machine. We're going to have to see what he can do. But those 5 guys in particular are looking to pull themselves away from the rest of the field here with these good runs, because a lot of those guys, they're much farther ahead than the rest of the field here in terms of chase drivers here at Hillside. And how about Nathan Baird getting stuck behind now 2 lap cars? Fisher G and Nathan Stapleton in between our 2 leaders, Shane Lake and Nathan Baird. I'm sure Nathan Baird would love to see Fisher G try to get to the inside of Shane Lake and possibly put him on the outside lane here. But then again, that outside lane's still really strong here at Hillside. It's difficult for these guys to get those runs and make passes here at this point of the race. We got ourselves at the line next time by. I think it's 25 laps to go.
Oh, yellow.
Oh, and the yellow on the racetrack. And around. Patrick Smith in the 30. And a hard wreck. Reagan Whitlock is destroyed. Turner's caught up in this one. Bradley Ream as well. Thomas Troxel. And Shane Lake stopped on the racing surface. Mark Davidson got caught up.
Oh, these guys are
They're starting to jam it up just a little bit. Brett Sierra, Cameron Garlington. And it's a self-cleaning racetrack here at the Hillside International Speedway. Shane Lake won the race back to the line. He will get back into his respective position. But, wow. You used the word earlier in qualifying, pandemonium. That's exactly what that was right there here at Hillside. A massive accident. Whitlock and Turner, the notable chase drivers involved in that one. Mark Davidson got spun around a little bit as well in the 95. That's going to affect him and his running order. But that is not at all what Shane Lake wanted to see. He had those lap cars in between him and Nathan Baird, and now, well, he's still going to have Stapleton in between them, so we'll have to see how that goes down on the restart. But these guys are going to be bunched up. That's going to allow all these guys in the back to have a shot at getting to our race leader. First caution of the night, Chloe Reiner in the 07, all torn up. Reagan Whitlock, Turner, Fisher, G. Of course, G was a lap down. I'm wondering if Tristan Allen also got involved, and Mark Davidson got caught up in the accident, which means he has to get sent to the back of the field. That is really going to hurt Mark Davidson. He was running in the 3rd position, but now he's going to lose all those positions because he got caught up in the accident. Thomas Trossel of damage as well in the 35 machine. It was a ticking time bomb. It was winding up, and boom, it was ready to explode, and it sure did there. I think it was in turn number 2. Tough break for all those guys involved, but it's going to give us a chance to catch our breath here in the JBL 400. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here on a Tuesday night. Midweek racing in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series from the Hillside International Speedway. This is not going to go over too well with Mr. Julius Anderson. Teammates at Anderson Racing. Patrick Smith, Ickwan has him. Smith comes down and clips the 64, and they both go hard into the outside wall. And just like at any super speedway where the banking is as high as ever, it's a self-cleaning racetrack. These guys are going to slip back down. Patrick Smith doesn't really get hit too hard. He did get hit by Brad Stover, but the big issue is with Ickwan Haslam and all these guys racing back to the line here at Hillside. This is a bit of an issue that we get. Gatlin Downey, and it was Stover who had already hit the number 30 of Patrick Smith, who ran into Haslam as well. But then afterwards, it's LJ Semedo, and then right there, Reagan Whitlock in the 92. He had also hit the number 30 of Patrick Smith. He gets caught up with Keegan Thompson. Zachary Fitzwater has nowhere to go. He gets caught up. And then Turner in the number 77, nowhere to go. Same with Chloe Reiner. I think Andrew Miller and Bradley Ream avoided for the most part, but Troxel cannot slow down in time. He gets a lot of front-end damage right there. And then, this is where things really get interesting. It's our race leader, Shane Lake, who thankfully was able to stop the race car in time to avoid the 64. He had literally nowhere to go at this point, and he stopped it. He knew he had to save the race car because he's back in the race league now, still with an opportunity at the race victory. Great job for Shane Lake right there. Mark Davidson cannot say the same. He could not clear Chloe Reiner and gained some left side damage there, and because he was in fact involved in the accident, he has to get sent to the back of the field. Shane Lake was not involved in the accident. He slowed down and avoided it in time. The same cannot be said for the 95 of Mark Davidson, who's going to lose that top 5 run that he had, and that's going to hurt him in the points. A massive, massive moment right there for the Father 3 Motorsports 95. But unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles, or should I say, the way the sheet metal crumbles here, because a lot of it crumbled here at the Hillside International Speedway.
Running along here with 64, Ickwan Haslam. Your pulsator just gets hooked by his teammate right into that concrete wall. That is not a safe barrier. See Patrick Smith. These guys are going to come down. That's where Brad Stover hits, and just a lot of cars slamming into them. Reagan Whitlock. I think that's going to effectively kill what was left of his chase run. Haslam goes upside down for a single rotation. It's a little bit of a stack up there. You see Shane Lake, Bravo, evasive maneuvers by them, but Mark Davidson, his bad day, which looked like it was going to go a little bit well, is going to go worse. And you see Cameron Garlington just going to spin Sierra around, so that's not going to be good for either of those cars. But J.C. Turner, Mark Davidson, and Reagan Whitlock, the chase drivers that were involved, as well as Fisher G. and Reagan Whitlock, I think this wreck is going to kill whatever Chase hopes he had with poison. Just tough break for the 92.
Yeah, he was 65 behind coming into this one. He's going to be even more than that at the end of the night. I think the driver of all that one to give the biggest kudos to is Shane Lake. I mean, he's the race leader, and he's the first guy of those leaders coming towards that accident. And he was able to slow the car down in time and avoid any contact Mark Davidson, however, is on the opposite end of that spectrum. Because he got the contact, they have to send him to the back of the field, and this is not an easy place to move away through the field. Now, given a lot of guys did get knocked out in the accident, we'll show you who got knocked out once we get back to the restart, but that saved a lot of guys. It's going to help out guys like Alonso. It's going to put him back in the realm. Same with Alexander Rowe. Those chase drivers are going to benefit from that. Sam Odoskin, it's a good thing with the exception of Mark Davidson. All the chase drivers who were running up front in this race pretty much avoided that. Whitlock and Turner were generally the only two guys, and Fisher G as well, but Fisher G was already deep in the field as it was, so it didn't make too much of a difference for him. Gonna be interesting on the restart. Shane Lake, your race leader, with Mark Davidson, or should I say Nathan Stapleton, in between him and Nathan Baird, who's second on the racetrack. Let's go ahead and see what happens with the number 15 here on the restart. Under 20 laps to go on the JBL 400 at the Hillside International Speedway. We're back here at the Hillside International Speedway. Next time by, it'll be the green flag. 19 laps to go on the JBL 400. Shane Lake, your race leader, in number 15. And I gotta say, he's probably got the best car on the racetrack. He moved his way through the field very well. And he started in, let me see here. Number 15 started in the 16th position on the outside lane, pretty much midway through the field, and he moved his way through the field there on that green flag run to take the race lead before the cycle began as well. Or should I say, he was second, I think, at the time of the cycle, or third. One of the two. But off the cycle was able to jump Nathan Baird, who's now second. This is going to bring McMillan, Yepes, Barto, Wyatt Quayle in 6th, Sam Odoskin, John Arndt, Cody Hill going for 2 in a row, and here Jalarvin Alonso rounds out the top 10. Stapleton a lap down in the 97. Out of the race from that accident include, I believe, Fisher G, Jesse Turner, LJ Sametto, Brad Stover, Zachary Fitzwater, Reagan Whitlock, Chloe Reiner, and the 64 Vic Wong has him along with Patrick Smith. Ace Garcia had an issue. We didn't catch that. He's 21 laps down and out of the race for Hamill Racing Enterprises. Shane Lake with a jump on the restart. And Barto wasting no time on Yepes. McMillan. You know, McMillan and Barto, there are a couple of guys who really want to get wins. McMillan hasn't won since Season 7. Barto, this is his last season in the Chick-fil-A Cup. He would love to get one last win here in this series, as he's always driven this number 4. But Shane Lake, he's going to get under fire here from Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton wants his lap back, or wants a lap back, I should say. That's going to open the door for Nathan Baird to possibly take the race lead away here on lap 63.
Yeah, Barrett, he's going to have the inside lane. Stapleton still holding the 15 of Lake. Now they are front real well to back real well on the front straightaway. I think Barrett, he might be in the catbird seat to take that top position.
Look at Wyatt Quayle, 39 machine. Out of nowhere. I don't even know how he got inside the top 10, but now he's inside the top 5. And on the inside lane, looking to take this race lead here eventually. But Baird had the check up on the inside. And Shane Lake from the outside lane is going to clear and take the race lead back away. Lap 65 of 80 here at Hillside. 3 wide. Sam Odoskin going to go to the inside for 4th as Barto and McMillan slip up. Barto's going to try to get the run on the outside as Odoskin has to check up on the inside lane. You got to remember, the tires are worn out and it's difficult to maneuver around this racetrack with those worn tires. This could easily be Shane Lake's 3rd win of the season. We're just going to have to see as he goes back to the inside of Nathan Stapleton, trying to put him a lap down again. But I don't know if I do that. That might bring Nathan Baird back into the race lead here. And the 16 has a huge run on the 15 for the race lead.
He's going to try and go to the inside of the 15. Meanwhile, Wyatt Quayle, where did he come from in that 39? As Baird going to go to the inside of the 15. They're drag racing down the back straightaway. Baird has a preferred line, but I think Lake might have the run on the outside that's going to bring Wyatt Quayle into this, and even Trey Barto on the number 4, rocking P4. 4-car breakaway here at the waning laps in the JBL.
Oh, and Barto had a huge one on Wyatt Quayle right there in the number 39. He's going to clear for a 3rd. Watch out for this number 4 machine. He could have a shot at possibly getting around Nathan Baird as well. You know Barto's going to be going all out for this one. But Shane Lake continues to hold on for the race lead here in the JBL 400. It's Nathan Baird in 2nd, Trey Barto, Wyatt Quayle, and Daniel McMillan, the top 5. Oskin, a great run for him. Alexander Rowe about to crescendo inside the top 10. Alonso trying to hold on to a top 15 run. He's currently in the 14th position. Those are where those top running chase drivers are at the moment. Baird's going to have another shot on Shane Lake, but so will Barto, I believe, in the number 4 machine. If these guys can continue to hold on to a run, if Shane Lake and Nathan Baird get side by side, that could open the door open for Barto. It's going to be 10 laps to go next time by here in the JBL 400 at Hillside. And Shane Lake looking to cruise away to his third win of the season.
I don't know. I don't know if the tire's going to hold up on the 15. Remember, these guys were very close on the fueling to run. I think Baird might have an advantage even though they pitted at the same time. Just don't know.
Shane Lake holding on for now. Oh, lap traffic. Thomas Troxel, Tristan Allen. That's going to slow these guys up. And Shane Lake has nowhere to go. Here comes Nathan Baird. Huge run to the inside as they're 3 wide ahead of them. Bartos here is well in the 4, but to the race lead. Nathan Baird is going to take advantage of the lap traffic, and Shane Lake is not going to be happy with his teammate at all. Thomas Troxel holding up the race leader Shane Lake as Shane falls back to the 4th position. Unbelievable right there. Teammates hurting each other on the racetrack as Nathan Baird is clear to the race lead here, but Trey Bartow in the 4. Will he have a shot at possibly his final career win on Napa Fam in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series? He's trying to close in. Will he be able to do it with now 7 laps to go at Hillside? Got Wyatt Quayle there in 3rd. Shane Lake all the way back in the 4th position. And now the 79 of Dana McMillan continuing to roll in 5th. Baird with now 6 to go, continuing the lead. Stapleton is just as fast as these race leaders, but we'll have to see if that brings in Bartow and Wyatt Quayle for this race win. Baird knows that this win is going to help him tremendously towards another Chick-fil-A Cup Series championship, but Bartow knows this could be his last shot at winning a race in this series. Who's going to get it done? 5 laps to go in the JBL 400 here at Hillside.
I think Bartow, he has literally nothing to lose. He is going to give everything that 4 car has got. He has been rapidly closing in on that COVID-19 Mustang. He's going to try and peek to the inside. He's going to have a bumper.
He could not hold it. He could not hold the exit at all. Wyatt Quayle might get a run to the outside of him, and that could open the door for Baird to pull away with this race victory. Shane Lake's going to go back to 3rd to the inside of Wyatt Quayle. Bartow's got one more shot on Nathan Baird here. If he can get to the back bumper of that number 6 team, he's got to get the pass made at the perfect spot. 3 laps to go in the JBL 400 for Nathan Baird at Hillside. Will lap caution out on the racetrack. Race back to the line. That'll do it. Nathan Baird's got to avoid the accident. Trey Bartow on the outside lane. He's going to pass the 16. Here comes Shane Lake in the 15 at the stripe. Shane Lake got him. Oh, my.
Oh, my God. He did not just do that.
Oh, my goodness.
He did not just do that.
You know, it worked out for him after all. Shane Lake got held up by the lap traffic. Lost the lead because of it. But it turns out it's going to be lap traffic who helps him get back to the race lead. White flag in the air under caution. It is not official quite yet. But Baird had to slow up in reaction to the accident. Bartow had run to the outside of him, but Shane Lake was like, I'm not slowing down. I'm going to take this win away from you guys. And 1/2 lap left to go, and Shane Lake is your winner in the JBL 400.
That is the craziest turn of events I have seen in all my days of watching you on Napa Fan. Mike, if he pulls this off, pending he doesn't have something go wrong here in turn 4.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Shane Lake's good to go. Off of turn 4, under caution, in the most dramatic finish I have seen in quite some time. Shane Lake's gonna get his 3rd win of the season and win at the Hillside International Speedway. Shane Lake wins the JBL 400. Unbelievable.
You've just got to feel it for both Nathan Baird and Trey Bartow. Bartow especially just...
Oh, man. Bartow, yeah, you're right. I mean, Bartow had that shot at his final win. Shane Lake gets it done here at Hillside. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what happened either. We're going to review the caution that came out right at the end there. Shane Lake gets it done. Trey Bartow, Nathan Baird, Wyatt Quayle, Salmon Oskin, Bobo Jones in 6th, McMillan, Yepez, Art, and Downey, the top 10. And I have a feeling, we see Dalio in an accident there. Jesse Turner, LJ Semedo, Fisher G, Nathan Fate, and Thomas Johnson in the back of the field right there. I have a feeling it was a lot of those guys who got caught up in something. Wow. That's all I can say. Now, here's the thing. Nathan Baird only got that race lead because of lap traffic. So, I can't feel too bad for Nathan Baird losing that race like that. Good thing for Baird, he still got a top 3 finish. He'll still be the points leader at the end of the day. He got all those bonus points for leading the most laps in this race, I do believe. So, he'll have the points lead about a couple points over Alonso. Alonso did a great job managing the damage on his race car, finishing the 13th position. Turner did not manage it well. Davidson fell back in this one, finished 27th. Alexander Rowe did a good job. He finished 11th. He'll be up there. And same with Salmon Oskin in the 83. Alonso, Baird, Rowe, and Oskin are all going to benefit from this race and head into Boston with a pretty good position in the point standings. But before all that, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution and see what happened with Shane Lake beating Trey Bartow at the line under the yellow flag. Thomas Troxel obviously had his issues. These guys, they were fast. This is at the back of the field. They're trying to get around Troxel here. Matt Delio, Mark Davidson, a chase driver who lost all that ground from the last accident, and Nathan Faden, who had a 4-wide run to the inside, clipped Davidson. Oh, you just know this isn't going to be good. When you see that 95 come back up the racetrack, Matt Dalio nowhere to go for the 75. Nathan Faden, couldn't really say the same for him either, but he went around. And obviously, the self-cleaning racetrack of Hillside International Speedway doesn't work out too well. As far as I know, the only guy who actually got into these guys once they had wrecked was Jesse Turner in the 77. We're going to see what happens to him, and yeah, he plummets right into the rear of Nathan Faden. And here's Nathan Baird. Baird goes to the inside to avoid the accident. And at this point, what do you do? At this point, Faden's kind of out of the way. Baird had to slow down. That allowed Bartow to get a run here in the number 4 machine. Bartow also had to slow down as well, because here comes the 15 of Shane Lake. Full throttle off of turn number 4. They're racing back to the line. This is it. And Shane Lake gets the run on the outside lane. And right there, the 15 edges out Trey Bartow at the line for the race victory. I don't know the exact margin at the line there because it was not an official finish. But my, oh my. Shane Lake, 3rd win of the season. He won Dover. That race was wild enough as it was. This is another mile-long racetrack. This one was pretty wild. And he gets this one as well. How do you explain that one, Trey?
I don't know how to explain it. That was just the most insane caution that ended up being the finish of the race. Shane Lake just full throttling it in the corner, and just once again, you've just got to feel for that 4 of Trey Bartow. I mean, he had no idea that Shane Lake just had the pedal through the floorboards in that 15 on the outside, and just I don't know, just an absolutely banger of a race here. For the maiden race of the Hillside International Speedway. This was fun. I'm going to say that.
I think it's pretty safe to say that this was pretty fun as well. It wasn't fun for some people. Specifically Turner, Whitlock, those two guys in the chase, both failing the finish here tonight. Mark Davidson as well. I mean, he's got to be frustrated after this one because he had such a good run going for him before that first caution. Got caught up in that one, and then got caught up in that second wreck as well. Finished 27th. Outside of those guys, though, a lot of the chase drivers did get decent runs here tonight. Obviously, Shane Lake won the race. Nathan Baird did finish 3rd. He'll most likely be the points leader at the end of the night. Salmon Oskin with the top 5. Great run for Oskin. Alexander Rowe, here's 11 Alonso. I think Rowe is probably the dark horse guy of this race. did an excellent job, was never up front, but he managed to salvage an 11th place finish, and that is huge towards the championship. And Alonso did a great job as well. You know, after he started on the front row, had that issue there with San Mateo, ran into him on the pit lane. You know, considering the damage that he had to finish 13th, that is great for Alonso. He's not going to leave the race the points leader, but it could have been a lot worse for that 2018. Silas Orta finished 19th. Ryan Durrani finished 21st. I mean, they're not spectacular runs. Brad Ream there in 23rd. They're not spectacular runs for those guys, but they're runs where I don't think it hurts them or helps them in any such way. It kind of keeps them in that same relative position. They're still going to have an easy shot at winning the championship if things go their way in these next 7 races. But my goodness, man. Shane Lake, just, I mean, you know, it's interesting because this is basically what happened. Thomas Troxel took the race win away from him and then gave it back to him, essentially, because Troxel was pretty much the reason why that accident occurred initially, that second one that we had. You know, it's a lot like Chicagoland. If you remember Chicagoland with Sam and Oskin won, you know, we had Fitzwater and Turner battling for the race lead, and who they get into? Oskin's teammate, Ace Garcia, and Oskin gets the race victory. Very similar type of situation here at Hillside. But then again, Shane Lake did get held up by his teammate and probably would have won had it not been for the lap traffic. But my goodness, man, what a race here at Hillside. I think we're going to be coming back here next season. Maybe even take the Turkey Hill Series with us as well. What a race here in the JBL 400. Shane Lake, your race winner here at Hillside. And we'll have to see how the points shake up. We got some guys, and even Shane Lake, with this win, that's going to help him. He's not going to be up in the top 5 in points, but if he gets another run like this, he could still have a very good chance at this championship. That's what he needed there in that Velocity number 15. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after 23 races. And we got another race this Saturday, the New Balance 400 from the Boston International Speedway. Gonna head over to Cambridge and have some fun over there around that 1.09 mile racetrack. Gonna be interesting to see how that one goes. I don't know if it's gonna be quite like this one, but should be a good one there on Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Shane Lake, your winner here at Hillside, and we will see you guys over the weekend for Boston in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and Turkey Hill Series, and also Kansas in the Haas IndyCar Series. Congratulations to Shane Lake. Here are the points for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after 23 races and after 3 races in the chase, and I will see you guys later.